Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, readers of all persuasions. It is I, Gayla, and welcome back to Book Uncorked and Caffeinated. And today is day 4 of Bookmas, and we're going to be discussing the anticipated books that are being published next year in 2026. So these are some books that are on my radar based on like TikTok and other YouTubers who are talking about anticipated books for the year of 2026. And so we're just going to go through a few that I found super interesting. Some authors I know, a lot I do not know, and so that's a good thing. Majority of these authors are also African American, Black authors, and so let's get into it. So I'm going to have on the screen the book and the release date, but I'm going to be looking at my laptop as I tell you about the books and read a little synopsis of each book. So the first book we were talking about is The Star Seekers, a murder and magical mystery, a murder and magic novel. And this book says Indiana Jones meets hidden figures in this brand new standalone historical fantasy set in the world of the Conductors, in which the space race of the mid-20th century will be determined by magic, if not by murder. That sounds pretty good to me. It's based in the 1960s. It's magic. It is historical fantasy, which is new to me. Fantasy is new to me, and then historical fantasy is new to me. So this is going to be an interesting read. I can't wait to read that. The next book that is on my list of books to read is With Love from Harlem by Rashonda Tate. It says, from the Queen of Sugar Hill author Rashonda Tate, a new novel inspired by the beloved Harlem jazz performer Hazel Scott and the equal parts exhilarating and tumultuous relationship that changed the course of her life. And I'll read a little bit more. It says, in Harlem, 1943, at just 23, Hazel Scott is a woman on fire, a jazz prodigy, a glamorous film star, and a fierce advocate for civil rights. She's breaking barriers and refusing to play by the rules. That sounds good already. I like me a rule breaker. And because of this book, I think I'm going to pick up The Queen of Sugar Hill prior to this coming out so I can read that, because I heard that is about Hattie McFadden. So I'm into reading that book as well. Then the next book is If I Ruled the World. And I knew this author, so I did a little bit more research. Amy DuBois Barnett. She was a magazine author, editor in the 90s. I remember that. She was an editor in the 90s. I think of Ebony magazine, actually. And she was like this big time thing, like, you know, being a Black woman in charge of how we are seen in magazines. And it's ironic because her book is about a fast-paced, juicy debut novel that speaks behind the curtain at the cutthroat world of hip-hop music and glamorous magazine scene in the late 1990s, written by the ultimate insider. And like I said, she was a magazine editor. So I'm super fascinated by things like in the 1990s, because I grew up in the 90s. I went to high school in the 90s, R&B, hip-hop, Mary J. Blige, all of those things. Also, anything that talks about this era is very intriguing to me. And so I can't wait till that book comes out. I'm probably going to get that book on Publisher Day. Then the next book is The Great Disillusionment of Nick and Jay by Ryan Douglas. This says, Douglas sets a classic on fire with an inspired recasting that strips away time and all expectations. From New York Times bestselling author Ryan Douglas comes a gripping and tender reimagination of The Great Gatsby and the pursuit of happiness and love in a society built on cruelty and secrets. And I think this is also a YA, so the character, as I'm reading it through with you, is 17 years old, but is based on The Great Gatsby, which I think is a good book as well, a good literary book. A lot of things has been made lately, like Huck Finn, The Great Gatsby. All of these books are kind of being reimagined by Black authors, and I like it because it tells a different side of society norms of like white literary books. So it's good to see another spin on it. The next book There's a lot of books coming out on January 27th, so my cart is going to be crazy. The next book is The Seven Daughters of Dupree, a novel by Nikisha Elise Williams. It says, the two-time Emmy Award-winning producer and host of the Black and Published podcast comes a sweeping multi-generational epic following 7 generations of Dupree women as they navigate love, loss, and the unyielding ties of family and tradition of homecoming and the love of songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. This is awesome. The fact that it's 7 generations of women, I love that. I can go back. It's me, my mom, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother. So I grew up with my great-grandmother. So I can go back at least 4 generations. So I'm always interested in people that can trace their history back. And each year I said I'm going to try to do a deep dive. But maybe this book would give me the push I need to do that. And it's also set in 1990s. It says in 1995. So I think that's super cool. I think I'm going to totally enjoy this book. So those are all January books. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 books, 5 books coming out in January, and 4 of those books was on January 27th. Then the next set of books, which is actually only 2 more. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books that I'm looking forward to the releases. The next one is The Art of Loving You. This is Natasha Bishop follow-up to, what's that book? What's the book? You know what I'm talking about, Only for the Week. So this is the follow-up in that series. It says, from the buzzy viral sensation Only for the Week comes the next book in Natasha Bishop's The Forever Falling series, featuring an intimate bucket list road trip, sexy banter, and a sweet and spicy second chance romance. And it starts off, if you're reading this, I'm dead. That's super interesting. But if you read Only for the Week, baby, Rome got people undies in a bind. He did that. That's the book boyfriend of the year for sure. And then the next book is Score by Kennedy Ryan. This is the follow-up to Real. It says a scorching second chance romance between a talented screenwriter and a phenomenal musician from a fantastic storyteller and superb writer. So everyone was on Real, and so she's following up that with Score. I'm going to be a little honest in this moment. I adore Kennedy Ryan. Everything I've read by her thus far, and I've read quite a few books, I love Kennedy Ryan. I really didn't like The Real. And I feel bad because everyone that talks about The Real loved it. Now, let's say this. I didn't read The Real. I listened to The Real with my ears. So maybe if I read The Real, I would have a different perspective. So my goal is, before this comes out, is to read The Real and then read the Score and actually read it. Because I do believe sometimes when you do an audiobook, you lose the essence from sitting there and cracking a spine and reading the book. So that being said, those are the books that I am anticipating purchasing and talking about on this channel. I'm looking forward to doing all the things in 2026 when it comes to reading. I'm a mood reader, so I'm probably not going to make a TBR, but I'm still going to be reading all of the things. So I want you to do all of the things. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Deuces. Bye. So I'm back because I must be on that stuff because I forgot. Danielle Allen continue with her Curvy Girl summer series, Big Girl Blitz. How can I forget that? So the overview for that says, because life's too short and mean girls ain't shh, Jasmine Payne fled her hometown and the fat folks who made her life hell the minute she graduated high school. Growing up, her haven was her Aunt Addison, and when her death takes a drastic turn, she insists that Jazz should spice up her life. Emphasis on spice. An aunt that co-signs on the ratchery. I love it. So that is the completed list of the books that I'm looking forward to. They will be on the screen with their dates. And I'll see you on the other side of this video. Still do all of the things. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you. Deuces. Bye.